Have you ever cried in secret because no one understood your pain? Have you felt that you gave your all for someone and received betrayal in return? Have you looked in the mirror and asked yourself, why me? Then pay attention. This video did not reach you by chance. Today you will understand why all this happened, and more importantly, you will discover that justice for what they did to your heart is already in motion. Not tomorrow, not in a month. Today. I know that you are tired of waiting, tired of seeing those who hurt you moving on with life as if nothing had happened, while you carry the weight of scars that no one sees. I know there are nights when sleep does not come, because the mind does not stop. It keeps replaying scenes, words, broken promises, and the question that will not be silenced: did God see what they did to me? He saw. Every tear, every sleepless night, every time you swallowed your cry so as not to worry anyone. God counted each one of those tears, and what I am going to reveal to you in the next few minutes will completely change the way you view your story. Stay with me until the end, because what comes now is too strong for you to miss. First, I need to ask you a direct question. Do you know how to identify when your heart was truly wounded? Many people confuse passing disappointment with a deep wound, but there is a brutal difference between the two things. Disappointment passes with time. A deep wound changes who you are. It makes you build walls. It makes you distrust everyone. It makes you afraid to love again. If you identified with this, then you are in the right place. Because today is not just any day. Today is the day you will understand the purpose behind your pain, and you will discover that there is a reckoning in progress that you did not even imagine. Let us begin with the symptoms. Have you been feeling a tiredness that is not of the body? A weight that does not leave even after a night of sleep? This is not weakness. It is the weight of carrying alone what should have been shared. It is the result of years of giving more than you received. It is the consequence of having loved too much those who did not deserve it. A recent survey by the Brazilian Institute of Psychology showed that more than 60% of Brazilians over 35 years old carry deep grievances from past relationships. 60%. This means that for every 10 people you know, 6 are hurt inside. 6 are waiting for a justice that seems never to arrive. 6 are wondering if it is worth continuing to believe. But here is the truth that no one tells you. Divine justice does not work on the time of the clock. It works on the time of purpose. And many times, while you think nothing is happening, everything is being prepared behind the scenes. Let me tell you a story that will make you understand this in practice. I met a woman named Dona Celia from Belo Horizonte. She was 52 years old when her husband of 28 years of marriage simply left. He left her and 3 children to be with a younger woman. Dona Celia spent 2 years without being able to get out of bed properly. She lost her job. She lost the will to live. The neighbors said she had gone mad from so much suffering. Do you know what happened next? The ex-husband lost everything. The other woman took his money and vanished. He became ill, alone, repentant. He tried to return, but Dona Celia had already rebuilt herself. She opened a small lunchbox business in the neighborhood. Today she employs 8 people. She bought her own house, and most importantly, she found the peace she thought she would never have again. Justice arrived, not in her time, in God's time, and that changes everything. Now pay attention to what I'm going to tell you, because this is fundamental. There is a huge difference between revenge and justice. Revenge is when you want the other to suffer so you feel better. Justice is when the universe rebalances things naturally, without you needing to dirty your hands. Revenge imprisons you. Justice sets you free. And here is the secret that will change your life. You do not need to do anything for justice to happen. It is already in motion. What you need to do is prepare yourself to receive the restitution that comes with it. Because it is no use for justice to arrive if you are not ready to enjoy what comes after. Let me explain to you how it works. When someone hurts your heart intentionally, when someone abuses your trust, when someone uses you and discards you, that person creates a spiritual debt. It is as if they signed an invisible contract. And this contract has an expiration date. It may take time, sometimes it takes years, but it expires, it always expires. If you are watching this video this far, comment the word justice down below. I want to know how many of you are waiting for this turning point. I want to know how many of you are ready to receive what is yours by right. Now let us talk about the causes. Why did you go through all this? This is the question that hurts the most, is it not? We want to understand. We want a reason. We want it to make sense. And I'm going to give you 3 reasons that perhaps you have never considered. First reason, you were tested because you are strong. It seems contradictory, but think with me. God does not place a heavy burden on a weak shoulder. If you went through things that many people could not handle, it is because there is a strength in you that you do not yet recognize. The pain you felt did not come to destroy you. It came to reveal what you are capable of. Second reason, you needed to learn to value yourself. Many times we only discover our own value when someone does not value us. That betrayal, that abandonment, that ingratitude, all of this serve to show you that you deserve more, that you cannot accept crumbs when you deserve the entire banquet. Third reason, you were being prepared for something greater. And this is the most important one. Sometimes God allows us to lose some things to gain others much better. That relationship that ended, perhaps it was an obstacle for the right relationship to arrive. That job you lost, perhaps it was a prison disguised as security. That friendship that disappointed you, perhaps it was a weight you needed to drop to be able to fly. I know it is difficult to see this when the pain is still fresh, but I need you to trust me for a moment. Everything you lived has a purpose, and this purpose is about to be revealed. Now comes the most important part of this video, the solution. How do you prepare yourself to receive the justice that is already in motion? How do you move from the place of victim to the place of winner? How do you transform all this pain into fuel for an extraordinary life? First step, you need to forgive. Calm down. I know what you are thinking. How am I going to forgive the one who destroyed me? How am I going to forgive the one who does not deserve forgiveness? But here is the truth that sets you free. Forgiveness is not for the one who hurt you. Forgiveness is for you. While you hold a grudge, you are tied to that person. You are giving them power over your peace. To forgive is not to say that what they did was right. It is to say that you will no longer carry this weight. Neuroscience studies show that prolonged grudge causes real damage to the body. It increases cortisol, the stress hormone. It harms the immune system. It accelerates aging. In other words, while you hold anger toward the one who hurt you, you are hurting yourself even more. And the person who did you wrong, they probably do not even remember what they did. They are sleeping peacefully while you lose sleep. This is not fair, I know. But here is the secret. God's justice does not depend on your forgiveness to happen. It will happen anyway. The difference is that if you forgive, you will be free to enjoy it when it arrives. If you do not forgive, you will be so busy with anger that you will not even notice the blessings arriving. Second step, you need to rebuild your identity. Pain has a dangerous effect. It makes us believe that we are what happened to us. You are not the betrayal you suffered. You are not the abandonment you lived. You are not the rejection you felt. You are much more than the worst things they did to you. Do you know what the biggest mistake people make after being hurt is? They define themselves by the wound. They spend years presenting themselves as the person who was betrayed, the person who was abandoned, the person who was deceived. And this victim identity becomes a prison. You need to exchange this identity for a new one, the person who survived, the person who stood up, the person who is stronger than they imagine. If this content is making sense to you, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell. Every week I bring videos like this to help you transform your life. And do not forget to leave your like. This helps the channel grow and reach more people who need to hear this message. Third step, you need to act as if the turnaround has already happened. This seems strange, but it is too powerful. Quantum physics shows that observation changes reality. When you act as if justice has already arrived, you accelerate the process. You align your energy with the result you desire. In practice, this means stop talking about your pain as if it were eternal. Start talking about it as something that has already passed. Stop seeing yourself as someone who is waiting for justice. Start seeing yourself as someone who is already living the restitution. Change your posture. Change your words, change your energy. I'm going to tell you another real story that illustrates this perfectly. Seu Jorge, a gentleman of 63 years from Recife, worked his whole life in a company. 32 years of dedication. Do you know what happened? The owner of the company went bankrupt on purpose, so as not to pay anyone's labor rights. So Jorge was left with nothing at 60 years old. Most people in his place would have given up. They would have surrendered to bitterness. But Seu Jorge did differently. He said, "If God allowed me to lose this, it is because there is something better waiting for me." And he started making cakes at home to sell. Do you know what happened in 2 years? His cake shop became a reference in the neighborhood. He hired 3 employees, and his ex-boss? He is facing a criminal lawsuit and lost everything for real this time. Justice arrived, but it did not arrive for a Seu Jorge standing still waiting. It arrived for a Seu Jorge in motion. Do you understand the difference? 4th step. You need to surround yourself with people who believe in you. This is fundamental. After a great pain, the tendency is to isolate oneself. It is to build walls. It is to distrust everyone. But isolation is the fertile ground for the poison of bitterness to spread. You do not need many people. You need the right people. People who lift you up when you fall. People who remind you of your value when you forget. People who speak the truth with love, even when it hurts. If you do not have these people near you, start looking. It could be in a church, in a support group, in an online community. But look, because no one was made to walk alone. 5th step. You need to trust in God's time. This is the hardest part, I know. We want justice to arrive now. We want to see those who hurt us reaping what they sowed immediately, but it does not work that way. There is a verse that says, "Everything has its determined time, and there is a time for every purpose under heaven." This includes justice. It has a right time to arrive. And many times when it is delayed, it is because it is being prepared in a way much greater than you imagine. Think of a fruit tree. You plant the seed today and want to harvest the fruit tomorrow? It does not work that way. The seed needs time to germinate, the tree needs time to grow, the fruit needs time to ripen. If you harvest before the time, the fruit is green and bitter. But if you wait for the right time, it is sweet and perfect. God's justice is like that. It is not late, it is ripening. And when it arrives, it will be much better than anything you could have planned on your own. Now I need to tell you something very serious. There is a mistake that many people make while waiting for justice. They stay so focused on seeing the other fall that they forget to build their own life. This is a trap. You cannot live based on the misfortune of others. You need to live based on your own prosperity. The best justice that exists is not seeing the other fail. It is you winning. It is you being happy. It is you building a life so good that the past becomes just a story of overcoming to tell. When you understand this, you stop waiting for justice to come from the outside and start building your own justice from the inside out. And here is the most important revelation of this video. Justice for what they did to your heart is not just punishment for the other. It is mainly restitution for you. God does not want only to settle accounts with those who hurt you. He wants to return to you double everything that was taken from you. Did they take your peace? You will have peace that exceeds understanding. Did they take your love? You will have overflowing love. Did they take your dignity? You will have honor before all who doubted you. Did they take your years? You will have a new season so good that it will make the lost years seem small. This is not empty positive thinking. This is spiritual law. The same measure that was taken from you will be returned, but in much greater proportion. It is the principle of sowing and reaping working in your favor. If you reached this far, I know that this video touched something deep inside you. I know that you identified with the stories, with the pains, with the hope. And I want you to do one thing now. Close your eyes for a second and breathe deeply. Feel the air entering your lungs. Feel your heart beating. You are alive. You survived. And the best is yet to come. From today on, I want you to change your declaration. Instead of saying I am waiting for justice, say justice is already in motion in my life. Instead of saying when will it happen, say I am preparing myself to receive. Instead of saying why did this happen to me, say this happened for me, to make me who I need to be. Words have power. The Bible says that the tongue has power over life and over death. When you change your words, you change your reality. When you declare victory even in the middle of the battle, you attract victory close to you. I'm going to leave a prayer here for you to repeat with me. You do not need to be religious to do this. You can adapt it to your beliefs. The important thing is the intention of the heart. Repeat with me. I release all grievance that is trapped in my heart. I forgive those who hurt me, not because they deserve it, but because I deserve to be free. I declare that justice is already in motion in my life. I open myself to receive all restitution that belongs to me. I trust in the right time. I trust in the process. I am stronger than the pain I lived. I am greater than the evil they did to me. From today on, I walk toward my new story. So be it. If you made this declaration from the heart, comment Amen down below. I want to see the strength of this community manifesting. I want you to come back here in a few months and tell your testimony. Tell how your life changed. Tell how justice arrived. Tell how you rebuilt yourself. And if you know someone who needs to hear this message, share this video. It could be that friend who is suffering from a betrayal. It could be that family member who was wronged at work. It could be that neighbor who lost faith. Share it. You can be the instrument that God will use to change someone's life today. Before finishing, I want to leave you with one last reflection. Do you know what the greatest proof is that you are a chosen one? It is the fact that you are still standing after everything you went through. It is the fact that you still believe that better days will come. It is the fact that you are here watching this video, seeking a word of hope. Ordinary people give up. Chosen people persist. Ordinary people let themselves be defined by pain. Chosen people use pain as a step. Ordinary people wait for life to change. Chosen people change life. You are a chosen one, not because you are perfect, not because you never made a mistake, but because despite everything you continue, you stand up, you try again. And that, my friend, is the greatest proof that there is something special inside you. Justice for what they did to your heart arrives today. Not as a date on the calendar, but as a decision in your mind. Today you decide that you will no longer be a hostage of the past. Today you decide that you will build a future that honors your strength. Today you decide that you deserve to be happy, regardless of what they did to you. And when you truly take this decision, something magical happens. Doors begin to open. The right people begin to appear. Opportunities begin to arise, not because the universe changed, but because you changed. And when you change, everything around you changes with you. I believe in you. Even without knowing you personally, I know that you have the capacity to overcome this. I know that you will look back in a while and be thankful for everything you lived, because you will understand that it was necessary to bring you to where you are. If you liked this video, leave your like and subscribe to the channel. Activate the bell so you do not miss any content. And stay tuned, because next week I am going to bring an even stronger video about how to attract abundance to your life after a great loss. You will not want to miss it. Thank you for being here with me until the end. This shows that you are different. It shows that you are committed to your transformation. It shows that you are ready to turn the page and start a new chapter. May the peace that exceeds all understanding guard your heart and your mind. May justice manifest in your life in ways you do not even imagine. May restitution arrive in double, in triple, far beyond what was taken from you. You are loved. You are valuable. You are chosen. Never forget that. But before I say goodbye, let me tell you one more thing I learned over the years. Divine justice often arrives in ways we do not expect. Sometimes we want the other to lose their job, but justice comes in the form of you getting a much better job. Sometimes we want the other to be alone, but justice comes in the form of you finding someone who truly values you. Sometimes we want the other to suffer financially, but justice comes in the form of you prospering beyond what you imagined. Do you understand what I am saying? God's justice is not necessarily the destruction of the other. It is mainly your elevation. It is you rising so high that what they did to you becomes irrelevant. It is you building a life so good that the past becomes just a story of overcoming. I know people who spent years waiting for the ex-husband to fail, for the ex-friend to be humiliated, for the ex-boss to go bankrupt. And do you know what happened? While they waited for the misfortune of others, their own life remained stationary. Bitterness consumed their best years. Anger stole opportunities they could have enjoyed. On the other hand, I know people who decided to focus on themselves, who chose to invest energy in their own reconstruction instead of in the destruction of the other. And these people prospered. These people found peace. These people lived justice in their own skin, not as punishment for the other, but as a blessing for themselves. Which of these two groups do you want to be part of? The choice is yours, and this choice begins now at this exact moment. I am going to give you a practical exercise for you to do yet today. Take a paper and a pen. Write the name of all the people who hurt you deeply. It could be one person, it could be several. Now, next to each name, write, "I release you. I will no longer carry the weight of what you did. I choose my peace above your punishment." Afterward, turn the sheet and write 3 things you want to build in your life from now on. It could be a healthy relationship. It could be financial stability. It could be inner peace. Whatever it is, write it and place this sheet in some place that you see every day. This will remind you of what truly matters. It will keep you focused on your growth instead of on the fall of the other. This simple exercise has the power to change your perspective completely. Many people who follow this channel wrote to me telling how small practices like this transformed their lives. And I want to hear your story too. After you do this exercise, come back here in the comments and tell how it was. Tell what you felt. Tell what you discovered about yourself. And remember, you are not alone on this journey. There is an entire community of people who are going through the same process as you. People who were also wounded, who are also rebuilding themselves, who are also waiting for justice to manifest. Together, we are stronger. See you in the next video. Stay with God.